Welcome to Just Your Average Podcast. We're finally filming after an hour of trying to get this thing done.
Yeah, I tried to do something new and it didn't work out. Rolled all over myself like a child.
I'm tired of Skype.
What?
I hate Skype.
Yeah, Skype is garbage. We should use Zoom.
I don't even know what Zoom is.
Google Meet.
I don't even know what Google Meet is.
It's like Grindr.
I am going to put a disclaimer out. At some point in this video, I might have to run away because my Patty might be giving birth.
My Patty might be giving birth. I don't believe that for a second.
So how you kids doing?
I'm doing great. Let's made a baby.
You've been awake for about 2 hours now, other Chris?
Oh. What?
I said you've been awake for about 2 hours now.
No, I'm working on my third.
Did you work today, Chris?
Wow, it's like deja vu all over again. Like, we have this conversation or something.
I hate you.
That's alright. I hate myself. It's fine.
What was that noise?
I don't know.
Thank God you live in Massachusetts.
That was fucking great. That was my favorite thing that could have happened.
Have you guys ever seen the show Swamp Thing?
Have I ever seen the show?
The new one that came out.
I didn't know a new one came out. I read all the books, though.
Well, I watched the first 2 episodes of Swamp Thing. It was actually amazing. But the reason I bring that up, CW bought the rights to it. So that means that they're going to be showing it on the CW.
I mean, I know it's just a love story in the vein of, like, Beauty and the Beast and, like, Frankenstein and stuff. So, like, CW is going to focus on the love story aspects like they did with Flash instead of, you know, it's a guy who runs really fast and punches gorillas. So, it'll suck.
Well, they already made the first season. It's not out of cancellation just yet. I think they're putting it on the network to see how it does, to see if people want a new season.
They're not going to do the episode where Swamp Thing and Etrigan go to hell to plant a single flower in Satan's garden. You know they're not going to do that.
I've only watched 2 episodes, but the show is pretty brutal. The first kill that you see is like the branches coming underneath a boat, impaling a guy through the back and lifting him up into the sky, and the branches go and blood splatters everywhere. It was like a fatality.
Do that thing where they make him the avatar of the green? Did they mention any of that?
I've only watched 2 episodes. I don't know.
I feel like they would have mentioned it by now. That's what the new 52 tried to do.
Really?
Animal Man was the avatar of the red, which was all animals, I guess. And Plant Thing was the avatar of the green, which is all like plant life, I guess. And then Solomon Grundy is the avatar of the gray, which is all death and decay.
Yeah.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
So is it...
It's on a Tuesday. Something happened on Wednesday, I don't remember, and then he dies.
So was Poison Ivy all butthurt she couldn't be it?
What?
Was Poison Ivy all upset that she couldn't be it?
No, she sees Swamp Thing as a god.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Swamp Thing is like up there in terms of power level with like Doctor Strange.
Did you watch the new Justice League Dark movie I told you to watch? Did you see it, Chris?
Very different universes.
Is it the one where Superman is the child of illegal immigrants?
No.
Oh, Justice League Dark. With Constantine and stuff, right?
It's badass. Constantine, spoilers, but Constantine literally has to go find... He goes... Literally has to go find... I don't know, shut up. They have, like, what's his name? Darkseid has these things, like, sucking up the Earth's core. So Constantine's like, wait a second. He goes down to the Earth and finds Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing just destroys it by himself when all the heroes are having trouble doing everything together.
Swamp Thing is like... He's like, Tom Bombadil. Like, he just likes his swamp, and that's fine.
Who's Tom Bombadil?
He does have the power to kill Sauron. You know what I mean? Like, he is that strong. But, you know what? Just don't fuck with the, you know, his forest or whatever, and he's fine.
I hope they bring the show back. People say it's amazing. If you watch it all the way through. And not saying, like, Watchmen amazing, saying, like, actual comic book fans think it's amazing.
Just read the book, dude. It's fucking... who's the guy that did Watchmen?
Alan Moore.
Forget his name.
Alan Moore.
Yeah, read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, I have it on my thing, waiting to be read. Hoopla.
You guys read books?
Comic books, bitch. What, you think just because a guy reads comic books he can't kick some ass? None of you like Kevin Smith, so...
Hey, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith's gonna be in the movie Trivia Schmodown now. I'm excited.
Thank God.
So is Chris Jericho.
Didn't Chris Jericho get raped at gunpoint?
No?
Okay.
Or was that Kevin Nash?
I don't know. It was not Chris Jericho.
You told me to start researching wrestling, so I was like, I want to research the weird shit. So I started looking up weird shit.
Went a very sideways.
But it happened while he was still wrestling, so like he was a big muscular guy.
Well, talking of abuse, remember the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing?
Yeah, she's gonna have the hashtag believe all women.
Yeah, now she might be going to jail for like 3 years, and Disney's like, oh wait, we want Johnny Depp back for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, we fucked up, just like we did with James Gunn. Remember that? You remember?
I guess the only takeaway is I hope Disney goes bankrupt.
So now they're like...
Never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Because originally they were planning on doing like a all-girls cast for Pirates of the Caribbean. Now they're like, we're going to do that and the final 6 movie with Johnny Depp to conclude the saga.
Who wants to watch, realistically, who wants to watch a movie about 3 female pirates that isn't a porno? Do you want to watch a movie about 3 chicks like, we're on the high sea? No one wants to fucking watch that.
What do you think, Chris? Would you watch an all-female pirate movie?
That isn't a porno.
My statements are mine alone, and I am not endorsed nor support most things said on this channel. Anyways, moving forward from that one,
Answer the...
Like, it's gonna be fucking pirate movies are supposed to be about like gross dudes on a boat beating the shit out of each other.
Well, here's the thing. What was it? Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They did a very good job, like, retelling a fair amount of the historical intricacies that went on with that. And that was really good to see.
Yeah.
That I was happy with.
Like Master and Commander. You ever see that movie? Russell Crowe?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It's like... It's one of those movies that when people are like, men and women are different, here's a movie women just cannot understand. And it's Master and Commander. It's all about, like, it's you and your crew, and that boat is your rival boat, and I know you're supposed to be doing something, but fuck it, we're gonna go sink that boat. And then, like, the battle is, like, extra, like, naval warfare is ridiculously brutal. Even when you win, it's like 2/3 of my friends are dead and we're sinking. We gotta figure out how the fuck to get home, you know? Let's hope we don't run out of food and water or get stuck in a storm or something.
See, I don't have a problem with all...
Write female characters nowadays, those chicks are never gonna encounter any adversity that they just can't easily overcome.
See, I don't have a problem with all female casts, like, in a movie. Just don't make that the hot topic of the movie. Make them the main characters and don't point it out that, hey, they're girls, they're strong, they're powerful. Just let it happen
like
fucking organically. Yeah.
Annihilation had an all-female cast, and that wasn't the selling point of the movie. And it was awesome.
Yeah. What was the other thing that we heard that they wanted to do an all-female cast? And that was the Star Wars show.
Yeah.
With that, I forget her name, but she's just an awful person. She wants to do like the all Star Wars show and have it reflect real world issues, all that stuff, because that's what people want when they see Star Wars. Have to remind them of their real lives and all the problems we have instead of just going to Star Wars and blanking out and watching silly science fiction.
It's because everyone wants to be the smartest guy in the room. So, like, look how woke and intellectually sophisticated my Star Wars TV show is. And it's all masturbatory. You know, it has nothing to do with making a good product. It's about, like, look how cool I am. It's called virtue signaling, Chad. It's disgusting.
Yeah. The only space thing I'm looking forward to now is Tom Cruise filming a movie on the International Space Station.
Fuck Tom Cruise.
I love Tom
Alright, first of all, Chris, just separate the art from the person. Is that what we always say? Separate the art from the person.
I don't even think he's that good of a fucking actor.
You're awful.
What are you talking about?
Have you seen
The last
Collateral?
was great.
Have you seen Collateral? He was great in that movie.
Have you seen A Stroke Victim? They were great in that movie.
That you make fun of what we say, and you say make fun of a stroke victim. Damn.
It's not making fun of a stroke victim. It's applauding them for still being in movies. Too far.
Too
What was I
far.
going to say? I wanted to stay on topic with Tom Cruise. I'm so happy he's going into space.
Dude, he's gonna be the first actor to film in space.
I'm so and you know what? If space wasn't real, Tom Cruise would tell us.
Do you want to know what I feel is worse about this? And I really feel bad.
Up there, and he's gonna meet Xenu, and we're gonna go, I guess he was right. Fuck.
The American government's just gonna stick a needle on him and be like, go to sleep.
Imagine if this was a big.
His ass.
No, imagine if this was a big ploy for him to go into space. Be like, I have to find him. I'm his number
This
one.
is how he becomes a super Scientologist, and he comes down and his hair's golden and glowing.
What is this movie gonna be about if he's on the space station? Are they just gonna like pretend the space station's like breaking down? He has to go into space to save it.
I think it's the new Mission Impossible. I think terrorists hijack the space station, and only Tom Cruise can kill them all. So
That'd
we're
be.
gonna get like cool gunfights in space.
Dude, I want Simon Pegg in space. It's throwing up everywhere.
Just shoot him up there.
What if? And this would be really funny. What if Tom Cruise is really the only person who can go to the space station to fix it? And that's why he's going.
Like in
Oh
real
my
life,
god.
like there's some crisis happening on the thing, and Tom Cruise is like, I don't want people to know how smart I am.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Dude, that'd be so fucking great.
Or aliens have been observing our species, and they're like, we want to meet Tom Cruise, and only Tom Cruise. So we have to shoot Tom Cruise to broker peace between us and this galactic federation of evil aliens.
Oh, I hate that so much.
Have you guys actually heard the rumors that he's trying to like break away from Scientology?
Maybe this is how he's doing it.
He fucking lost his family. He lost everything. And now I think in his head he's finally like, is this worth it? Is this real? Imagine if he left Scientology, his movie career just tanked.
It wouldn't tank. That's what's worse. Is like, because he'd have so much fucking publicity, everyone would be like, he was so brave to leave Scientology.
He would get assassinated.
Yeah, he knows too
Scientology would
much.
kill him if he left.
And there's a lot of theories that Scientology is the reason why he's so popular and famous and he has all these roles.
Well, because they have a lot of connections in Hollywood. It's no different than, like, being related to a famous Jewish person in Hollywood. Like, you're gonna get a role.
I just wonder what happened, the hell's his name? He was in Grease. John Travolta. Why doesn't he get the big roles? He has to, like, hang out with Fred Durst.
Well, it's just because he's weird.
Yeah, it's also because he's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not as good as he used to be.
I honestly don't even think he was that good in Pulp Fiction.
He wasn't that good.
I don't think Pulp Fiction was that good of a movie. Face Off was a different type of movie, though.
Face Off was Nicolas Cage's movie, not John Travolta's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it could have gone either way, and Nicolas Cage did better.
Because he's just better.
I think John Travolta wasn't bad in
Pulp?
What the fuck's that? Pulp Fiction. I think he played very well, but he didn't play. He wasn't.
Was he as good as Sam Jackson?
No, nobody's ever going to be as good as Sam Jackson.
I'm saying, man, he's always a good actor, but he's not the best actor in the scene. He's always paired up against someone who completely dominates it.
Yeah.
Like Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, and fucking Sam Jackson, Nicolas Cage. Like, imagine having to act next to Nicolas Cage. It's like, nah, that dude's just on another level.
Yeah, and then they decided to make that the Scientology space movie, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And he was like, This is the movie.
Did you?
Battlefield Earth.
Oh.
Yep.
He was supposed to be the hero in that movie, but he liked the part of the villain way more, so he was the villain.
Play the part you're meant to play.
Did you
And then
guys?
we got that Barry Pepper guy to play the lead, and I only remember him as the sniper from Saving Private Ryan.
Did you guys ever watch Community?
I wanted to see Battlefield Earth so bad when it came out, not because I knew it was a bad movie, but the concept, I was like, that's such a cool, that sounds like it could be amazing.
Did you guys ever see the show Community?
What?
Community? Have you ever seen it?
No.
Joel McHale's a cunt.
I
Why?
like Joel McHale. I liked him on Soup.
Why don't you like Joel McHale?
No, when he's being snide and fucking smarmy, that's fine. But like, I forget what he did, but he did something. And he just spoke real vitriol about like people who play video games and like.
Oh,
Don't be
shit.
an asshole.
He went after us gamers. Gamers rise up.
Well, luckily it has nothing to do with what I want to talk about. They did an episode where there was a class, is Nicolas Cage great at acting or is he horrible at acting? And it drove the character Abed insane. Because the teacher told him not to watch more than 3 Nicolas Cage movies a day, or else he'd go insane. So pretty much Abed goes crazy and just starts doing all the Nicolas Cage, screams and everything, just goes nuts. It was funny.
Oh, it sounds amazing, dude.
You guys are the worst. I was hoping you've seen it.
That actually reminds me, a couple, or more than a couple, a decade ago, me and my friend Dietrich were trying to come up with a religion based off Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes.
Jesus
And,
Christ.
we were trying to have a whole religious service where, at the beginning, the priest goes, Dylan, and then everyone goes, you son of a bitch. And they all turn to their neighbors and grasp their hands, and then you turn the person on the right and do the hand thing. And what's the matter? CIA got you pushing too many pencils, and then everyone sits down. And then he'll give a sermon, and Arnold turned to her and screamed, go, get to the chopper. And she ran. And then everyone is just intently listening like a Catholic procession.
I watched the new Terminator yesterday.
What'd you think?
Every scene that didn't have Sarah Connor talking and the new hero girl talking or in it was really good. But they gave them, not saying, Sarah, what's her name who plays Sarah Connor's acting was really bad in the movie. The new,
I always forget her name.
yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Chris.
Linda.
But the new hero girl, she got way too full of herself way too fast in the movie. So she would just start doing really reckless things. And it was bad, and it got really annoying. It got very let's empower her to the max. But Arnold Schwarzenegger was great. The action was cool. The villain was cool. The girl who played the half robot girl was cool. Yeah.
Is that what it is? She's a half robot?
She is she's like an android pretty much, like Dragon Ball Z.
Which one? 16 or 17 or 18?
18.
Okay.
And I also watched this movie Get Gunther with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's only
Which
in
one?
Get Gunther.
What's that?
It's basically a movie where a group of assassins team up to take down Arnold Schwarzenegger's character Gunther because he's the #1 assassin. And you gotta just watch the end with Arnold because he's not in it till the last half hour probably.
I didn't realize they did a John Wick parody.
Yeah.
No, it's actually the whole movie wasn't bad, but I can see why people wouldn't like it. It's a very stupid comedy, but the parts with Arnold were amazing because he's just great.
I think you just have a giant boner for Arnold.
I'm not alone.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm also not saying you are alone. Arnold is a cool individual, but...
Keanu Reeves, Nicolas Cage, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Alright, no, you can't
That
put
is
Keanu
shitty
Reeves.
triangle, dude.
You're a
You
shitty
can't
triangle.
put Keanu Reeves in a list with Arnold and fucking...
I can do whatever I want. It's my list.
It's a shitty list because it's just all three of those are great, but that's your top three?
And Bruce Campbell.
No.
How dare you say no to Bruce Campbell?
Okay, I did. No.
What else has he done?
everything.
He just did everything.
He actually wasn't bad in Burn Notice. For like,
He was great,
if
and
you
they gave
haven't
him his
seen
little
that
movie.
show, that's a good show.
Yeah, and he gave him his little movie.
Alright, well.
Bruce Campbell's an American treasure. You all are awful.
Cool.
You're the worst. Why? Who's your
think
big
so.
three?
My big three? Robert Pattinson. No, I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck
You're
up.
really no. The sad thing is
That's
you're
where
really
it's
not
going.
kidding. You're,
Definitely Nick Cage for sure. I don't know.
you know you want to say
Who's the guy that
Arnold.
played, I'm too high for this. Never mind.
Jesus Christ.
No, you know you want to say Arnold Schwarzenegger
I mean,
and Jackie Chan.
Schwarzenegger's definitely in my top 10, but I don't know if he's in my top 3.
What about Jackie Chan?
He's in the top. No, because he's not that good of an actor.
He's a fine actor.
He's a good stunt artist.
He's an
good at doing
amazing
stuff.
action star, but he's not a good actor.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I like Kyle MacLachlan,
Who?
the guy from Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks. Every time I see him in something, I'm like, I love that guy. I
Make
love
sure you include Twin Peaks.
And then Aubrey Hepburn.
Not Aubrey
Oh,
Plaza.
wow. You pulled from like the.
I am in love with that woman. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and she's a fantastic actor.
Okay.
What about you, Chris? Do you have a three favorite?
Gene Wilder.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that's a good one.
Gene Wilder is instantly number one on any acting list I've got. On number 2, Sandra Bullock.
Nah.
Weird pull.
The reason I say it, as well, personal opinion, the fact that she can have like such a decent amount of range to go from like, I know the second one wasn't that good, but what was the fucking movie where she was the FBI agent and like, you know,
Miss Congeniality.
yeah, like she could be good in a comedy, but like she can also play a fairly decent part in Blindside. So it's like she's at least got a range compared to a lot of others.
Did you like Bird Box?
It wasn't bad. I thought it was a stupid fucking concept, but that's my own opinion.
Driving the cars on.
GPSs work that well.
Yeah, I was going to say driving the cars on GPSs like that.
And then, oh shit, who the fuck is my third? Probably Keanu Reeves, if we're gonna be honest.
Didn't you make fun of me for putting Keanu? Or was that
I
it?
made fun of you for putting Keanu with the other two fucking actors, you animal.
I mean, they're all the same caliber of actor. Like, Keanu can't act, man. Like, he's okay.
Alright. I'll replace Keanu with Ralph Macchio.
No, that's a weird pull.
You know who I wish I could put in the list? Go back like 20 years. Johnny Depp.
Why can't you put him on the list?
Because he
It's
hasn't.
I don't think you have to go back 20 years.
Because he hasn't made a good movie in how long?
You need to go back to like Edward Scissorhands and Fear and Loathing to get good Johnny Depp.
And Blow.
No, the first Pirates wasn't a bad movie, as well as
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Django.
That was voice
when
acting.
Pirates came out, that's when I realized, I was like, whoa, this pop culture thing and me are not going to get along. Because I was like, I don't get it. And everyone was like, it's so great. And I was like, I don't think so. And then...
You were just mad there wasn't enough blood and boobs.
The first movie was good to me.
Okay, yeah.
I've only
I
seen
watched
two.
the first movie and I was like, I don't hate it. I just wish these guys would stop talking. Go back. I want to watch the Royal Navy do shit. That's where the uniforms and the colors and like.
I want people to die.
Yeah, I want to like fucking cannonballs, dude. Do a lot of damage, and you're shooting them at each other from like 20 feet away on a floating piece of wood. It should be brutal and intense. Not like comical, like swinging on ropes to like fucking whoever did the music.
It's also Disney, so.
That's what I mean. So yeah, that's where I was like,
But I mean, for a movie, it's not
Chad's seen every Harry Potter 12 times. So there's that.
I actually haven't. I've only seen each one maybe once or twice.
I haven't seen them all.
And Patty
I've
loves
seen
Harry
all
Potter,
that.
so I like it.
Because of movies.
And
I read the first one, and I was like, I don't like this. And I stopped, and I never read the second or anything like that.
And what's his name? Who plays Harry Potter? What's his name?
Daniel Radcliffe.
He's actually a really good actor, and I watched that Guns Akimbo movie. I actually didn't mind it.
Oh, I meant to watch that.
It was actually not bad. It was really fucking stupid, but it was fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He was also the dead body in Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
No, I heard it was good. He's actually really good in this movie, Horns, too.
And, no, that's Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood's really good, too.
See, I think I like Daniel Radcliffe like you like Batman Boy.
Oh, Pattinson?
Yeah.
Where they just do weird shit and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Although, did you see what Pattinson said? That he's having trouble with the movie studio and the new Batman.
Why?
Because he won't return the calls from their physical trainer and stuff like that. And they're like, you need to be ripped to play Batman. And he was like, no, I don't. And it's like...
You kind of do.
You don't have to be ripped, but you also can't look like a normal fucking human being.
No, I don't care. No, I don't care if everybody says Batman needs to be super jacked.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Wait. What is Batman's title? The world's greatest...
Yeah, he's also a fucking ninja.
detective.
He's also a
The
crazy
world's
ninja.
greatest ripped, muscular, macho man that fights.
I just want Ben Affleck back, okay? I want him flipping tires. I want him pulling chains.
I want my Batman to look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Not like bulging with muscles, but fucking ripped.
Dude, Brad Pitt was great in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, too. I watched that yesterday, also.
Dude, and everyone blew that fight between him and Bruce Lee out of proportion.
Did you see that? Have you both seen it?
Yeah.
Did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Chris?
No.
Well, let me explain the scene to him. There was a scene where Brad Pitt's a stunt double, so he's on the set where Bruce Lee's like talking about like his whole
Bruce Lee
spiel.
being the arrogant cunt he was.
So
Brad Pitt's like
laughing in
"I
the
bet I
corner.
can kick your ass, and Bruce Lee's like, I bet you can't kick my ass. So like they square up, and Bruce Lee just like kind of like slaps him and is like, see, you can't mess with me. And Brad Pitt's like, all right, do it again. So Bruce Lee throws a kick, and Brad Pitt catches it and throws it into a car and dents the car. And then Bruce Lee gets up and is like, okay, this is going to be a real fight. And they square up, and you're like, holy shit, these two are about to go at it for real. And then the scene ends. A lady walks in and interrupts the fight. Now, people thought that was them disrespecting Bruce Lee. But no, it was just to show that Bruce Lee is an actual fighter, and he got hurt, and he was like, okay, we're actually going to fight now. And it's like, it's a cool scene. It shows their power levels.
And plus,
everyone's like, that's being racist towards Bruce Lee.
And plus, in that...
insulting Asian people. And it's like, no, you don't get it.
No, in that movie, they're trying to build up Brad Pitt's character as like this fucking unstoppable, crazy stuntman, too.
So let's show him fighting the world's greatest martial artist at that time, but not being better, being even. So you're like, oh, this guy's as good as Bruce Lee.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed that. That might be one of my favorite Quentin movies.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
I like the ending of that movie.
Yeah.
The ending is pure Tarantino.
Do you care if we spoil the ending for you, Chris?
And people screaming.
Are you ever going to watch it, Chris? Can we spoil it?
I'll probably watch it one day, but I really don't care if you like...
Hey, guess what? Sharon Tate doesn't get murdered.
No, pretty much the movie is Leonardo DiCaprio comes out, yells at them to get off their properties. Then they come up with this big scheme to kill the Hollywood actor or whatever. So that instead of breaking into Sharon Tate's house, they break into Leo's house. But who's there tripping on acid? Brad Pitt. And he just kicks their ass and kills them all. The best scene is when he gets stabbed in the hip and he's like touching it. He's like, oh, he's like, he doesn't know if it's real or not.
Yeah. The whole time, just before the fight breaks out, Tex, the guy who led the Sharon Tate murders, is like, we're here to kill you, man. And Brad Pitt's like, you have to tell me if you're real.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm real. And he goes, yeah, but you could be lying. And the guy's like, I'm not lying, though. I'm real. And he's like, I don't know if you're real. Then the fight breaks out.
No, Brad Pitt was definitely 100 times better in that movie than everybody else.
Dude, and then guy tries to kill the wife, so he's like, sick him, and this fucking Rottweiler just comes running and grabs this guy by the throat and wrestles him to the ground and just murders him, and you're like,
And Chris, did you ask how high do you have to be?
Yeah.
You've never taken acid. He smoked a cigarette that was literally dipped in acid.
Yeah.
So the potency
Which
of that
doesn't work,
cigarette.
by the way. The heat from the flame would melt the acid instantly.
The whole cigarette was dipped in it.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
You can't burn acid, bro.
I'm sure they did it back in the
You
day.
have to written tinfoil and put it in your freezer for it to last. Because if you just walk around with it in your wallet or something, it loses potency like within an hour.
And if it touches your skin in your pocket, you could start tripping.
Oh God! Whoa! What if we made a movie about that?
You wanna? Be like a 5-minute movie. Pocket ass.
SLC.
Oh God. You gotta sit on your lawn and worry all the demons and fire's gonna get you.
Yep.
I feel like you're making a reference to something.
Yeah, we are.
Have you seen SLC Punk?
Have you seen what?
SLC Punk?
No.
That wasn't an awful movie. It wasn't bad.
No, it's bad. Guy has like a sheet of acid on him, and he like walks through a sprinkler or something, and it like melts through his skin, and he winds up doing like, I don't know, 10 times the normal amount of acid you should be doing.
Nice.
The cops come. He has like mittens on and everything. Ugh.
And the most acid I ever did, I never like thought I was something else or was somewhere else.
No, I never thought that.
I just remember being like, I am so fucking high. Like, holy shit. Like, trying to do simple tasks was impossible.
Cooking pizza in the oven. We were cooking Elio's and just watching it cook. That was fun. Then we couldn't get a CD out of the CD player.
Yeah.
That was pretty
I
bad.
remember one time me and my buddies were tripping balls on his back deck, and we're just looking inside his house like, dude, your parent, and his parents were super rich, so we were like, dude, your house is such bullshit, you know, like, what's that, like, pointing out all the dumb shit they just had laying around. And then his pug, like, walks into the center of the room, and we're like, oh, hey, Duncan, and he just turns to us with the pug smile and starts pissing on the floor. We're all tripping balls, just watching his dog piss on the carpet, like, laughing. And then it set in, we were like, oh no! And that cleanup took like 3 hours because we couldn't fucking clean up focus.
No, one of the funniest things that ever happened when I was doing it, I had my friend Laura, she don't care if I say her name. My friend Laura, she was tripping, and my friend Joe, we were all tripping. So my friend Laura spilled something on her shirt. She asked my friend Joe to go in her room to grab her shirt. So he goes in there, and she's like, it's a red shirt, it's right on my bed. He goes in there and grabs, like, a lingerie, like, thing, and brings it out, and he's like, here you go, and she holds it up to her, she's like, this is really what you want me to wear? And he disappeared for, like, a half hour. It seemed longer, but the whole time we're just like, where's Joe? And we couldn't find him. He was just in the living room, sitting on the couch.
Jesus Christ. So, Chris, you should do a lot of acid with us.
You should do it once. You should do it once.
Try it out.
It'll open your eyes, man.
Well,
Yeah, it could also fuck my brain.
It's not gonna fuck your brain, trust me.
No, I was insane before I did drugs, don't worry.
Don't use me as an example.
You'd be fine.
The worst part about the trip, though, is like you just piss yourself, you know?
I've never pissed myself.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
What? No, never. What?
Remember we were jumping into like a pentagram with glow sticks off bear log?
Do you remember I couldn't make the pentagram? I just couldn't figure it out.
It's like Dietrich
That's
had to.
far gone. But
No.
me and Dietrich spent 20 minutes just trying to make a circle out of glow sticks, and then making like this circle, and then it would start to squiggle, and we were like, why can't we do this?
No, because we had this thing called bear log where it was like a knockdown tree and it was supposed to be all mythical and shit. So everybody walked across it.
One time, me and my brother were walking through the woods, and it was misty out, and I turned and went, fuck, bear, and then he went, it's a log, and then it became bear log.
But if you go back to our past episodes, Chris's brother Andrew's been on the show. But
Yeah.
I was trying to walk across it, and for some reason your brother pushed me off
Yeah,
and I landed in the middle of the pentagram.
Yeah.
And the whole night we're like, you tried to kill Chad on Bear Log. And he just
was like getting all like, oh dude, I swear I wasn't, but he didn't get we were fucking with him.
I don't think he knew why he pushed me either.
Well, I would have done the same thing. It's just what Roncos do. You're near an edge, we're gonna push you. We don't know why, we're just gonna do it.
It's just because we're fucked up.
No, but then later on that night, the Valley was swinging the branches on fire around.
Yeah.
So it looked like Kratos' like blades of chaos. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah, drugs are cool. Everyone should do them. Especially children.
Let's do an episode. Would you ever do that?
Where I'll get in some contacts, right, and we'll have like a gram of coke, a gram of heroin, a little bit of LSD, some whiskey, some weed, and then to top it off, like Adderall. And then every 20 minutes we'll do a new one, and we'll record a podcast like that.
So it would be like recording our suicide.
Yeah, so the first 20 minutes we all do a line of coke. Second 20 minutes we all do a line of heroin. Third 20 minutes we all take shots of whiskey.
I will do none of that.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, I'll watch.
No,
Chris, you'll just have a heart attack watching us.
We'll give you vodka intravenously. He just dies out of poisoning like 20 minutes in. Can we just mainline it?
So would you really would you at least do shrooms, Chris?
Those come
maybe. They come from Earth. Everything comes from Earth.
Not plastic. Gotcha. No,
byproduct.
Yeah.
How mad would you be if we slipped acid into a beer and you drank it?
That would be a felony, and we would go to jail.
Not unless he told on us.
Definitely sell your ass out.
You're not supposed to dope people or dose people. You just don't do that. Creepy people do that. Fucking guys, sketchy guys at bars do that. You know, you don't do it to a buddy.
I have a friend used to roofie him for fun.
That's
not a friend.
That's not a friend.
It's awful. And I'm purposely not mentioning names with this one, so don't say any names.
Like, if you did it once, and then your buddy's like, oh, dude, I'm, like, tripping. And then you're like, me too, surprise, we're tripping together now. This will be fun. And you did that once, that's okay. Because even if the guy freaks out, you're like, ah, man, I was just trying to have a good time. You do it again, it's like, buddy, stop. You know?
No, you're not a buddy at that point. It's like, hey, motherfucker.
3 times, it's like, I'm gonna call the police now. You've dosed me 3 times. Like,
see, the best...
Like, the second time, I could let it go because you're just a fucking asshole. This time, can't let that.
See, the best part about it is, like, if I didn't have a kid or anything, I probably wouldn't mind as much the one time. But if somebody did it to me now when I have my daughter and my upcoming son and Patty and everything...
I just dropped a package at my door and looked at me in my window and ran away.
So you should have whipped your dick down and be like, hey.
No, I think he was confused because he heard 3 voices, but I was sitting alone.
That's exactly how you fuck with people. It's like, why do I hear 3 people in that room? It's like, well,
he's just sitting Indian style on his bed.
just sitting there.
Talking to the wall.
Did you guys ever see the video of Alex Jones talking about how with all this going on and everything happening, he wouldn't be afraid to eat his neighbors if he had to?
Neighbors, I'm not letting my kids die. I'm just going to be honest. My superpower is being honest. I've extrapolated this out, and I won't have to for a few years since I got food and stuff, but I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. See, my superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass. I will. I'm combat model, optimum self-sufficiency, probably the leader. The point is have you thought about that yet? Because I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up my neighbor, how I'm going to haul him up by a chain and chop his ass up?
I mean, I feel the exact same way.
You would eat your neighbors?
If it really came down to it between me and them, yeah, I'd eat them.
So I'm going to play like the short clip right now. But
If you can get it to work.
I can get it to work. I'm going to do it when I edit it.
Nice.
But basically, like, on the video, the best part about it is like, do you think I like having to think this way? Do you think I like having to resort to having to eat my neighbors?
I agree 100% with Alex Jones. I think the exact same way. Me and him are in the same mindset of, like, we're always in apocalypse mode.
Would you...
We're waiting for it to happen.
Would you eat your neighbors, Chris?
Wait for it to happen. That doesn't mean that you're in it at all times.
Right, but you gotta think, dude. If it really came down to it, would you eat your neighbors?
I mean, with some balsamic dressing,
Dude, Riley comes up to you, Chad, Riley comes up to you and goes, Dad, we're out of food, I'm starving, it's been 3 days, we need to eat or I'm gonna die. And you know your neighbors are next door. Would you kill your neighbors, chop them up to feed your child?
Probably.
I would actively seek it out, but like...
No, this is the last resort thing. Alex Jones isn't saying day one of the apocalypse, I'm breaking in next door and eating people.
See, the problem...
That's what everyone's thought of.
See, the problem is you're thinking right now. In my mindset right now, I wouldn't. I am not in the survival mindset where I'm like, last resort, going crazy.
That's why, when the survival event happens, you won't survive.
I'm just going to come to your house.
And I'm going to eat you. I just said, if it came down to it, I would eat my neighbor. You don't think I'll eat my friend?
You're awful.
It came down to it.
I think if work push came to shove, I'd be fine with it, because I don't really care about anyone else.
If it comes down to just me and one other person, and this is it, and I think I can overpower them, I'm going to try and eat them. If they eat me, if they overpower and eat me,
when you die, you'll be like, fair game.
yeah, man, G, no read, as they fucking bash my head in with a rock.
There's no honor among survivors.
Fuck that.
Like, you ever seen The Road?
Yeah, that movie was brutal.
That movie's the most depressing movie out there, next to probably fucking, what's it called, Stitches? I don't know, that British one with the nuke. But yeah, the cannibals made perfect sense in my mind. They all had working cars, they all seemed to be well-fed, whereas our hero, who refused to partake in cannibalism, was starving and, like, with a kid, and, like, we only have 3 bullets, but then you see the cannibals, and everyone has a gun, and they're all fucking... It's because, you know...
He had hope of bringing back what we used to have.
Oh, you know for sure the little boy got ate.
I would
Spoilers.
actively avoid cannibalism until, last minute.
Until it's 100% for sure we cannot grow crops and all the fauna is dead.
Have you guys
At
ever...
that point, then it's like, alright, come here, give me a leg.
Gotta eat people, sorry, dude. We wouldn't even... everyone would chop off the first part of their thumbs. Because that's probably the least... You don't really... you can still hold stuff. You don't really need the very tip of your thumb.
Yeah, but how much nutrition is that? Like, that's just kind of a waste of a good thumb.
Get you through one day.
That's a waste of a good thumb.
That's enough for you to kill a human being.
Right.
Have you guys
what
ever...
happens, Chad, is you're not going to... You just... In that scenario, you have to accept you're not eating every day, and you're not going to drink every day. So if you can get a little bit of food and be like, all right, this will keep me good for a day and a half, maybe. That's how you start living.
Have you ever seen Cannibal the Musical?
Yeah, of course.
Remember the scene where they're eating the shoes and Trey Parker's character's like, ew, I'm not eating a shoe. Then the next scene where they go into the cannibalism, he's just chewing on a foot.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I love the way they did Indians in that movie.
They're all Chinese guys.
They're just Japanese guys, like, practicing with samurai swords in the background and shit.
That needs to be a movie we talk about on Cold Culture.
I think of any time it's nice out, and I walk outside, the song
The sky is blue and all the leaves are green. The sun's as warm as a baked potato.
I think
if you have it,
exactly what I mean when I say it.
It's just a doinkle day. See, I get mad because everybody says Team America is their best movie.
Oh, Team America is their best movie.
Oh, I like Cannibal the Musical.
Cannibal's good, but it's it's not great.
And have you seen Orgasmo?
Of course.
The Orgasmo Radar. That
Dude,
movie's
Tina
awesome.
Rex is the best part of that movie.
I'm gonna make you come, and I'm gonna kick your butt. It's awful.
Younger voice.
With Trey Parker.
Yeah, it's such a good idea.
I wish they would make more movies like that.
Basketball kind of ruined it for them. After basketball, they were like, fuck this.
Dude, I love basketball.
Basketball's stupid as shit.
That movie's great. Just the beginning monologue of that movie explaining sports is great.
Yeah.
And then the whole movie is just making fun of sports the whole time.
Did give us the dicks fuck pussies, but sometimes they fuck assholes speech.
Yeah.
I love that speech.
South Park, the movie, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, is probably one of the best musicals ever made, though.
Have you seen Book of Mormon?
Yes, me and Patty saw it live. It was amazing.
I saw it live with the original cast.
Oh, really?
When it did its original run, but they had like a reunion where the original cast fucking sang. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it went way different than I thought it was gonna.
I got the ticket on my wall.
I got the poster over there.
Well, I remember reading something saying like Mormon people were like, this isn't offensive, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, if Mormons like it, it's gotta be good, you know?
It's all real. It's all true.
Yeah, like when he goes to the bar and drinks coffee, and they're like, "You're drinking coffee?" And he's like, "I've had a few," and it's like, Mormons.
How was your phone call, Chris?
Oh, it was everything that I hoped for and more.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Cannibal the Musical?
Oh,
Cannibal the Musical?
no.
We're talking
Orgasmo?
about Matt and Trey.
Trey
films
Parker
they
and
made.
Matt Stone.
Best Parker.
So I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah, we were just talking about all their movies. Kind of went on like a wank fest. Dude, this one's good, that one's good.
I mean, I listen. That's what the thing is like, I don't just sit here and ignore you guys. Like, I actually pay attention to everything, so I do hear you.
Sure.
Well, we were on the phone. I wasn't sure if you muted us.
I muted it on my end. I listened to everything.
Dude, did you
I used to do
guys
that in high school.
did you guys see the video of the monkey riding the little motorcycle and stealing the kid?
Wait! Hey! Hey, Mas! Hey!
You want to know how you're dumb?
Hold on, Patty's calling me. Hold on. Time out.
Chad received a phone call from his girlfriend letting him know to get his ass upstairs. The baby was on the way. Find out what happens next time on Just Your Average Podcast.